Hey there, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, we're continuing on our sunflower embroidery. This is our embroidery of the month. Tonight we are going to work on all those little chain stitches, all those single chain stitches. So let's get going. All right, everyone. Glad to have you all popping in here again. Let's get on scooched here. All right, let's see how that goes tonight. So here is where we left off on our little dude. We got the whole bird done yesterday, and we even got a little bit of the text started. So that is where we are at tonight, and we are going to do the single chain stitches today, at least a little bit. Oh, thanks so much, Mad Dog. This is the last stitch that we haven't done yet, so it's the single chain stitch, so I think that's where we're going to start. And I'm going to start, I think, on this inner bit. There's actually two different browns. We have the light brown and the dark brown, so it's teddy bear and walnut are the names. And I think I'm going to start right in the middle and kind of work my way out, because then I can weave into the backs of the stitches of the bird. So I got this nearby, so I'm going to have to really keep an eye on this to really make out where the browns change. So I want to get that inner area done, and then all the rest are the dark brown. So let's get our light brown out. I'm gonna, again, I'm using my little strawberry tray here. I'm kind of putting the garbage for this project in there, which has kept my work surface so much cleaner than I expected. So that's been kind of fun. I'm still pretty excited about that. Clean surface. It's always kind of magical in craft land. All right, so I cut my, normal 24 inches or so. I feel like I'm being a little greedy on these, though, lately. They might be a little bit more than 24 inches. All right, so I'm just isolating one thread at a time, and we are going to get our 3 strands out of here. Zoop. All right, that was easy. Hope everyone is having a lovely Wednesday. It was so gloomy all day. All I do now is complain about the weather here. Oh, but did you guys see that Jenna posted her temperature cross stitch that she's working on in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group? So she lives near me, and there's a whole lot of blue and green on there. There's like no summery colors on that temperature cross stitch yet. So that's what we're dealing with here. Robin's asking, are we going to get more of the strawberry plates in? I think I am going to order more. I might just order a bunch more right away. We still have several in stock. I think we just have one more of the white one. But we have a couple of here, I got the other ones right here. So we have the dark red. This is, I haven't put these supplies away yet. So I have a tray for each project going right now. So this was for our big punch needle, which technically I guess I'm done with the punch needle part. I just haven't cleaned that up yet. And then I have this is the pink tray. So I have this one going for our ABC stitch along. So right now I just have a few of these trays kind of piled up over here, which is maybe kind of silly, but it's working for now. I just have to clean up those other projects yet. Was that 3? I think that was 3. Yeah, this is feeling pretty tight. All right, now we're ready to stitch. So again, I'm going to keep this guy nearby. Kind of thinking, I'm like, is there a strategy to make sure I get the right ones? But I don't know. I'm going to do one up here, though, first, just because I think it'll be easier to show you guys. I was going to start right in the middle. But all right, we have these teardrop shapes. So that is what's representing the single chain stitch or a detached chain stitch. Deborah says she saw the bookshelf cross stitch, temperature cross stitch. Oh my God, there's a whole pile of blue and green on there, and that's how it's been feeling. That is like my mood right now, is that blue and green. I'm telling you. All right, I'm gonna come up at the point of that single chain stitch, so right at the bottom there, and then it loops around and then comes back. I'm gonna mimic that with my thread. So there, my thread now also kind of goes up and around. And then I'm going to go back in the exact same hole. And I like sometimes holding this thread so it doesn't like scooch back in there. So I like kind of holding that tight. But I'm going to go back in the exact same hole. And I'm not going to go very far before I come up just opposite of that point, like at the peak of the arc. And you can see I'm coming up with the needle on the inside of my loop here, my arc, and that's when I can pull the rest of the way, and my thread is going to catch that arc. And I don't want to pull too tight. If I pull too tight, I'm going to lose that nice, gentle kind of arc. And I want to keep that because that's what gets us our nice little teardrop shape. Okay, and then the last step is we need to tack down this loop because otherwise it's just going to like flop up like that. So I need to tack it down with a tiny little stitch right on the other side of the loop there. And zoop. And that is our single chain stitch. So we just have to do like a zillion of them. So there's another way you can do this, and we'll do it right next to it. So I'm coming up on that point again. Another way you can do this is by going in and out in the same motion, and I kind of like that. So I'm going to go back in the same hole. So I'm not doing that arc this time. Like I mean you can, but it's not like important to make that arc first. I'm just going to go in and out. So in the exact same point that I just came out of, and then I'm going to come out with the needle at the peak. So you can see I have that whole motion going on right here. But then I'm going to take this part that came out of the fabric there, and I'm going to wrap it around the back of the needle there. And now I can pull the needle all the way through. And the same thing, our thread is going to catch our loop there. And that's maybe the easier way of doing it. And then we still have to tack down the loop on the other side. So let's do that one again. I think sometimes that in and out motion, like where you go in and out of the fabric in the same motion like this, so back in the same hole and then back up, can kind of be a little bit difficult. That's why I like the stabbing method. If it's a little difficult, try making your fabric a little bit more loose in the hoop, and that should help. Oh, Cherry says my granny used to do embroidery. My backs are so messy when I try to do it. Oh, that is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with a messy back. I know my backs are like super duper clean. Why I'm actively kind of trying to keep a clean back is just because I don't like when things, like I don't like when my okay, well, I think one of the biggest reasons of having a messy back is because you're using potentially knots on the back. So I don't like having knots on the back because I can tie a knot and then I can accidentally, like if this was the back, catch a knot and keep stitching, and then I wouldn't know that I have like this big loopy mess on the back. So one thing that's helped me like really quickly have a cleaner back. Oh, I gotta keep looking at my chart to make sure I'm doing the right seed colors here. But what's helped me is doing that weaving in of the ends versus tying knots. And I try and limit how much I jump around. And actually, what really helps too is whenever I'm stitching, I kind of have my left hand involved. So I have, so my fingers are literally on the backs of the stitches here. And here's the motion of it. So I'm going to come up here. So on the back, I'm actually kind of I'm moving my thread away from the needle so it doesn't accidentally like loop around itself. And then I can feel it go through my finger here, and then I'm letting go of it. But I'm like with the first bit, I was like actively kind of keeping where it's coming out versus where it's going in. I was trying to keep that separate, so that helps stop some of those crazy loopy knots. And then when I go back in, let's do the stabbing method again. So I'm gonna make that arc around my stitch. I'm actually gonna hold it here a little bit. Ooh, see, I'm far away from my, like it's hard for me to get my left hand there, but I'll feel the needle come through here, and I'm actually, touching the needle the whole time, and I can feel the thread come through with my left hand. Let's go up here, and all that helps me notice if I have a knot or if something just feels off. I can kind of tell with my left hand on the backs of the stitches, like I'm literally feeling it go through my fingers there. So that's just something I've tried to do, is just get that back hand involved a bit. It's a little bit easier, or a lot bit easier, if you have a stand that you're working with, like an embroidery stand, but I don't use those here very often, just because not everyone has one of those. So if you just have a normal like little embroidery hoop, that works just fine too. You don't need a stand. Although they are nice to use, because then you have your other hand free, and then you can like stitch from the bottom and the top, and it's just faster. And oops, one of my threads got a little funny there. That looks decent. All right, let's do that one he's eating right here. I think that one will go around like this. Hold that in place, and then come up. I just want to be more precise here, and there's all those other stitches that might get my way if I go in and out in the same motion, so we're going to do that other method. Gotta tack it down yet. And there we go. There, he's eating that little baby seed. Okay, Lois is saying I have trouble with my outline stitch, so like the back stitch here. Or are you referring to like the stem stitch or the back stitch? Outline stitch, that term is actually pretty interesting. Because I think traditionally the stem stitch was called the outline stitch. So I think this is your traditional outline stitch. However, as like now in like modern embroidery times, outline stitch has been used a little bit more interchangeably. So I never quite know, because this is a type of outline stitch, a back stitch. Stem stitch is a type of stitch like for outlines, and so is like the split stitch and other stitches. So when you say outline stitch, when people say that, I'm never quite positive what stitch you're referring to. But if you're referring to the stem stitch, yes, that can be definitely tricky around curves. I do have a little trick for that. And that's just really keeping with the arc. So remember, I don't know if you were here 2 days ago when we did the stem stitch, but if you have like your thread up and arcing in the same shape as whatever you're stitching on, when you come up, it's going to hold that thread in that arc a little bit better. I know that's probably really confusing. I think tomorrow we'll probably go back to the stem stitches, so I can definitely show that again. And then I actually change the direction of my stem stitches depending on the direction of the arc that I'm trying to stitch. So I always stick with the arc, whatever shape the arc is. But it is still rather difficult around really tight curves. Like this S, for example, if I did this with the stem stitch, I would have a lot of difficulty. Like it would be pretty tough. It would not be as clean as just a back stitch like this. Oh, what kind of dip powder I use? So I ended up using a nail boo, and I think, now that I bought it, that's like freaking all what I'm getting ads on everywhere is just like nail boo ads up the wazoo. So everyone must have known about it before me, but I ended up going with them. I did a bunch of just like looking around, and their starter pack, you could choose the colors. I did like a search, like a blog search of like, or Google search for like blogs of like, what are the best, or the differences between dip powders and what's the best dip powder, blah, blah. And I know a lot of those are sponsored and whatever, but anyway, I looked at some of those, and Nail Boo was on the list for some of them, and someone else on here that I follow said that they used that. But when I was looking, I was comparing all the ones on that list, and Nail Boo was the only one that you could choose your color, which seems crazy. Like, it's the only one that you could choose like the colors. Like the other one just like came with red, or one just came with like for French tips and stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't want either of those. So I went with Nail Boo, the one where you could choose 4 colors. So that's what I'm doing, and I don't have anything else to compare it to, really. I mean, when it came, I thought I'm happy with it, but I think that's just the idea of dip powder itself that I'm happy with. It came with like, the starter kit came with like a little brush and some of those things. The thing that I did think, though, is that the little bottles of activator and the base and the top coat all seemed like really small. They seemed like half the size of like a normal nail polish. So that seemed weird to me. But again, maybe you don't need, it's not nail polish, it's activator and stuff, so I don't know. Probably don't need as much, or, they just want you to buy more. So we'll see how long that lasts. So anyway, that's all I know about that. Yeah, the rest just comes with like the colors. Yeah, I know that. Like, what the heck? Like, what a weird. Is it that hard to let people choose their colors? I would think that would be a huge deterrent. So anyway, that was bizarre to me. So that was the only one I could really choose colors. And actually, their photos weren't especially great for the colors and stuff either. So I had to do a lot of guessing, because some of the colors that they were selling didn't have like real people wearing the nail polish color. They were just like mock-ups, and I'm like, ugh, how are you gonna really know? But so far so good. What did you do with the other set? You got oh, nothing yet. That's right. So they actually sent me my order twice, and I'm like, oh, I contacted them, and I'm like, oh, did I place my order twice, or I only wanted one, or whatever? And they said basically like, no, we accidentally, like everyone that ordered that day, we accidentally sent their orders twice, like, because they had like a glitch or something. So I do have an extra, a whole extra bundle of the same 4 colors that I ordered, but it's like an $80 or $88 or something thing. So I'd like to do a little giveaway here for it, because I'm not going to need like those colors again. Not for a long time, and I'll probably choose some other colors by that time. And I'll just probably have to get more activator and all that stuff anyway eventually. So I thought I'd give it away, but I don't quite know how to do that here yet. But I'll let you guys know for sure. Maybe we'll do a little giveaway, like if I do another Saturday Stitch Along or something. But yeah, so I got a whole nother random set of it, which is just like I had to wait forever, and I think that's why, like, I think it took forever for them to arrive, like more than normal online ordering. And I'm not even saying like Amazon ordering that's like next day or whatever. I'm saying like normal, like small business online ordering. It still seemed like it took a long time, and then I got like 2 sets within 3 days of each other. I'm like, yeah, it ain't right. But anyway, I've done nothing with that new set yet. Oh, it was entertaining to watch me put them on. Oh my god. It would have been more entertaining and twice as long if you watched me take them off. I considered doing that live, but I was going to do them Sunday, take my first nails off on Sunday. But then I decided to do it after my long live on Saturday, and it literally took almost the same. I did a 5-hour live, and it took me almost the same amount of time to take these nails off and then put these new ones on. Like, so for the full process, it took hours and hours. So that's gotta change. I mean, it's my first time taking them off, but like, oh my god. I tried that dipping in water, hot water in the bag, and I think that's still going to be the winner, even though that took a whole lot longer than I was expecting it to. But it still went way less. I did one hand with the like foils on my fingers, or the little clips that come with the pack, and then the other hand, my first hand, I did with the hot water, and I thought that just took forever, but way not as forever as the just putting those like finger things on, and I had to do some scraping off with that and stuff still. I think I just got impatient. So I think the water way was a winner, but I think I'm going to do both hands in at once, because I think my problem was I couldn't like rub the nails like this. Like I couldn't do that. I was just with one hand like trying to go like this, and that wasn't really working. So I think I have a plan for next time. So 3 weeks from now, which is freaking amazing that I can have these things on for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now, I will try. I will try again. And I'm going to have to start timing myself and then like actively like try and beat my time. I don't know. Anywho, that's all there is to the nails. It's this is my second attempt at the dip powder. I have 2 more colors. I got my 4 colors that I got. So we'll have to wait another 3 weeks and try another one of those. I think I got like a pretty light pink, kind of like oh yeah. So here's the peony. I think I got another one that was this light pink. I got just basically all basics to start out with, basic colors that this is like the most wild one, and it's just a freaking purple. But I wanted just like the base level of stuff that I could wear for a long time. But anyway, so I think I got a pink, like a baby pink, kind of like a sweet bubblegum pink, a light one though. And then I think I got more of a, maybe kind of this color. This is maybe still a little light, but more of a mauve. Not really mauve. It's still like a pink, but more of like a brown pink. I guess that's mauve. All right, I'm going to keep going with this color. Let's finish that color up. So 4 kind of, basic colors, very basic colors. They had one like that was like pistachio green, like kind of a dirty neon green. I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. But I went for the basics this time around. Next time I have to get like activator or something like that, maybe I'll order another color, and that one could be a fun one. And I'd love to do some of like the stuff where you can like do an ombre color just by like dropping some powder on the tips of your nail and stuff. I think that's kind of fun. But I mean, like, I just like keeping it kind of basic here. Especially since I tape these lives and stuff, so they're on YouTube for a while, and I don't know, might be weird, like, watching a video a year from now and having crazy nails, but I don't know. I'm not actually against that either. It's a sign of, like, the times and stuff, so I think it's kind of fun, actually. All right, I gotta look at, like, every single one of these now just to make sure I'm doing them right. But, if you get these mixed up, that's not going to be the end of the world. Who cares? Who cares if you got an extra light brown seed compared to a dark brown? Just if you look at pictures of sunflowers it does appear sometimes like there's like an inner and outer ring that's a different color. I think it's just, the size of the sunflower, and they're just like tighter. They're not like fully developed yet, so it has a little bit different color. Let's see, I think this whole, nah, I'm gonna have to keep looking at this. Let's just have that right there. Okay, not this one, but this little patch here is all this color. Okay. Let's do the sewing method again. I think I'm just trying to keep it upright, and that's what has me not doing it. For the sewing method, I always have to go like right to left. Just because I'm not that coordinated. Oh, so with gel nail polish, you only get like about 1 week. Okay, so that was a big question. Like, do I do the gel nails or do I do this dip powder? And I ended up just like, I didn't want to get that whole like light and everything that you need to cure the gels. And some people mentioned, that it was just like a week, and I'm like, a week? I don't know if that's enough improvement for me to switch up, just my normal nail, like lacquer nail polish. So far I'm happy I went with the powder. Yeah, I mean, after 3 weeks, I was only going to do 2 weeks, but then I just didn't. And at the 3 week mark, like last week, they were pretty grown out, but I don't know. Some people said that they couldn't really tell or anything on the camera, so that's good. But they were starting to chip a little bit and starting to get annoying, for sure. So the 3 weeks I think was pushing it, but like they were still on though. That's the thing. Oh, and I so if you wash your hands a lot in water, it doesn't last that long. And that's what I was kind of testing that first time around. I did a lot of things that usually are things that totally wreck my nails, like a lot of hot water stuff, and I make boxes, like shipping boxes a lot, and those usually, like I'm scraping, like I have to fold over these edges of the boxes, and that like scrapes my nail like this. So by the time I'm done doing boxes, usually with lacquer, like the whole entire tip is just sort of like buffed off. So I was doing that. I was doing other relatively aggressive things that normally would just kill my lacquer nails, and they did just fine. So I was over the moon with that. So I did only put I don't need to talk about this all night either, but it's fun. I like to talk about it. But if everyone's getting sick of me, just let me know. But I only did 3 layers, and I think I did a better job at putting them on too. Like they weren't as thick as the first time, so I don't know if that's going to affect anything either. It's all one big experiment, right? So I'm running a long-term experiment with those. Oh, Anne says my mother-in-law gave me a diamond painting for my birthday. I opened it today and tried it. Oh, you like it better than you thought. I always thought they were kind of interesting. I mean, it's kind of like cross-stitch, right? In the sense of you're putting something, like in the sense of like pixels, right? I kind of mentioned that with latch hook yesterday. It reminded me of cross-stitch. Okay, both of these. Because you're just like putting in each little pixel and then it just kind of develops. That's interesting. So I've seen those. I know they're like super duper popular, but I haven't tried one yet. So that's cool. I'm glad you like it. Always fun to try a new craft. Test a new craft. New crafts are experiments too. To see like what need it fulfills, if any. Is it relaxing? Do you have to make artistic decisions a lot, or what? It's always an interesting discovery, I think. Oops, around the back. and I haven't, this is only my second time again with the nails, so I haven't been, I think you can do like a building process too, like if you want to make your nails longer and stuff, but I'm fine with, I don't think I'd be able to function with very long nails. Not well. Like even this long, this feels long to me, and even now it's like a learning curve to like type and that sort of thing. Like I feel like I'm not hitting the keys quite correctly all the time. I think there's an SNL sketch from the 90s or something like that. Maybe even from earlier. That could be a 70s SNL sketch with the long nails trying to type. All right, I think both of these. Boop, boop. Yeah, okay. Just trying to see where they are. Oh, Robin says I've been doing the diamond art a few years. Oh, so let me know how you like it, or like what you like about it. I'm curious. I think that it'd be fun to try. Oh, you were watching people add tips to the nails on YouTube. Oh, see, that would be kind of interesting. It'd be interesting to just do like once, but the amount of time it would take me to like take them off would be the thing. Is like, do I really need to try it or not? It'd be fun, like, as holidays are coming up, to just be a little bit more extra than what my nails are now. Then we can play around with some of those things. Oh, Amy says I finished my poppies and stargazer lilies. Yay! Oh, so your summer set is complete. Nice. Oh, and you started the embroidery of the month today. Fun. Yeah, it's all a whole pile of florals all at once, which is always kind of fun. Okay, this one. Wait. So after, this brown is taking me a little time just to get all of these because I want to get the right ones. One thing you do is like cross them off with a pencil after you've done them. I'm getting a little bit lost here. Okay. Oh, I can just basically go all the way down the line here. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Or I'll do a few at least. But yeah, after I do this, I won't have to look at it anymore because all the rest will be the dark brown. So I'm being putsy with it for the light brown and going from there. I think after the next one I can go up another level. Oh, you're so sweet. I have something to smile about. It says, hello, my favorite stitcher. So sweet. Uh-oh. Did something goofy here. Oh, did I not, like, finish my... The heck did I do here? There we go. It's like I did the anchor stitch too early. Alright. Boop, boop. Okay, and then after this one, I think I can do... Yeah, that one as well. Okay, whew, we're getting there. I think I'll run out of thread before I get all these guys done. They're looking cute. All this little texture in this sunflower. Shoop. Okay, now I have 3 this way. Yeah, and then all these ones underneath. Okay, got it. I do like this sewing method, although it is easier for me from more left to right. Ooh, come on, get up there. There we go. Zoop. Get this little baby one up here. Oops. Wrap around that. I'm running out of thread here, and these like French knots get annoying when you don't have enough thread. Like when your thread's running low, they get persnickety. Oh, cool. Kathy says, I'm working on the Be Kind kit, which will be one of the corners of your ABC quilt. Oh, that's a great idea. Maybe I should do that. I haven't chosen what I'm going to do for my corners yet. I was just going to do fabric, but it would be fun to do other embroideries. Maybe I'll do that. Ugh, gosh. Okay. I think I can get maybe 2 more out of here. I'm like, ooh, am I even going to be able to do another one? But yeah, I got enough thread yet. It's just at annoying stage is all. Zoop. Which one is good for beginners? All of our kits are great for beginners. And basically all of our newer kits, so the main kits on the website, there'll be a clearance section. Those kits, most of those are iron-on kits, so you'll have to iron them on yourself. So if you don't feel comfortable with that, then all the other kits outside of the clearance section, I believe, are all pre-printed. So pre-printed like this. Oh, plus here you get to get my silly questions answered without feeling stupid. Oh, that makes me so happy because I hate that so much. Like, it just, whenever someone says that, I'm like, get triggered back to like, there was this yarn shop near us, and every time I went in there, I feel like they just were like, why would you be in here? Like, I don't know. It was just so off-putting. And I know there's so many little shops. I mean, there's so many fabulous, fabulous shops too. But like growing up, just like every craft store I went in, because I don't know, maybe I was young or whatever. I don't know. But like, it never felt safe to ask questions or ask anything. I don't know. It's just horrible, right? So ask away, and I'm more than happy to answer, or someone else here might know it if I don't. Wait a sec. Is this one? I think it is. This is going to be my last one, though. I don't think I got... Gosh, yeah, this is going to be pushing it, doing this one even. Get around there, buddy. Okay. Definitely not going to get another one out of here. We're getting there, though. One more thread will do it for sure. Yeah, and I think let's do it. I was thinking, should I switch to the dark brown? But no! The whole point is that after I finish the light brown, I don't have to look at the instructions anymore. Just all the rest are the dark brown. So I'd rather not guess. So I'll get this done. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know, you don't know. And like those places, don't they want like young people to like grow up and be like the master yarn people, like how they are or whatever? Like, oh God. I'm just gonna run out of there with all their yarn or something? I don't know. As I'm asking like a valid question. It's just dumb. Alright. I'm still annoyed. It's like 15 years later or more, right? It's still annoying. Yep. Alright. Doing my fun way of separating threads just one at a time here. I never used to do it this way, but it was recommended to me a few times, and then once I started doing it, now I just find it so much faster, and I don't have to worry about anything tangling up against each other, like when you pull like the two sides and then all the hanging bits like tangle up. I don't have that problem at all anymore, just pulling them out separately. It may seem like, annoying, like, ugh, now I gotta put it back together and all that, but that's kind of what I thought when I started doing it. I'm like, ugh, is this really faster? But no, I think it's super fast and easy and fun. And kind of magic, being able to pull those threads out like that. Oh, thank you! Something to smile about. Says it's looking so cute. Alright, we are just about done with, well, let me just weave in the end somewhere. Maybe I'll start on this side because I think that's easier for me to navigate. I got a little disoriented at the end there. I think I didn't stitch any that were supposed to be the dark brown, but if so, like, who cares? But yeah, I just need to get my bearings on what ones I need to do yet again. All right, weave in ends. So I'm going to start at the top this time. So this guy tucked in the middle is our first one. Here I can... Oh, you can do the in and out method too and still kind of have this loop going. Then I don't have to wrap it around later. I can just kind of come up, come through. Do a little mixture of all of it. Oh, Denise is saying, I was watching a different embroidery video, Sarah Humphrey. Oh man, you guys, my eyes are having a hard time reading this far away now. And she said she puts a backing fabric on her fabric. Do you know what she's referring to? Okay, so if she's referring to a backing fabric like as she's stitching, so there's a backing, I mean, you can put a backing fabric on like when you're finished to like cover up the stitches and make it like a nice clean back. You can put like a piece of felt on the back. You can finish the back in, you know, a bunch of cute ways to cover up your stitches. But what I suspect you're asking is that she puts, I've heard of other people do this. So you could do, Amy's saying maybe SF101 stabilizer. So you could do a stabilizer. But what I'm thinking she might be doing is putting in a second piece of fabric down. So I've heard that before. So like instead of putting like just the one piece of muslin, I do this printed piece and then I do like just a second piece, like a blank piece. So theoretically, it won't be any more difficult to pull my thread through because, you know, the weave of it is still the same size, so I shouldn't be causing any more tension on my thread or anything, really. But it will theoretically cover up your stitches more, right? So I could like jump from here to here on the back, and because there's two pieces of fabric, it won't move around, or you won't be able to see that stitch as much. And I've also heard like I've heard people use it, or someone, an artist, an embroidery artist, uses the two pieces of fabric as well when she does her thread painting. So like when she's filling in the whole thing with just a zillion threads. And I suspect it gives it some strength and stuff too, so it doesn't move around as much. I've never really done that, but I see, like, I like the idea of it, of the two layers of fabric. But maybe that's the case. I think for the at least, so the two reasons I can see doing that is just the jumping, like from back to back. Like if I like jump from here to here, then I won't see, like what I did here. I jumped from the orange from here to here. The reason I was okay with doing it here is because I was covering it up by all these other stitches. But if I didn't have all those stitches and I jumped from here to there with two fabrics on the back, you might not be able to see that. So I suspect, I mean, that's one reason. And then the other secondary reason would be like sturdiness. Like if you were doing something like a super densely stitched thing, I suspect maybe that would add some more heft and structure to the piece, something that you're adding like so many stitches to. Those are both just guesses, but they kind of make sense in my brain, I guess. Oh, so that could be as well. So Denise says, "Oh, okay, I thought it was a wash away, but I don't want to wash it away." Another piece of fabric makes sense too. She said her piece was very thin. Oh, so that would be if she's stitching onto a very thin piece. I mean, it makes sense to have another piece. But yeah, so maybe it was a wash away stabilizer. I know those are very popular. I like using the stick and stitch here. I don't have any printed near me, but yeah. So that you can stick onto your fabric. You can print onto it like right from your printer, which is awesome. I think this might be it. But then you can. Yeah, I think this is it. All right, good. I'm going to weave in the ends here. And then we're just the dark brown. Woohoo! But yeah, so you can print the design from your printer onto the stick and stitch and then stick it, and then it does wash out. So okay, you don't want it to wash out. There are stabilizers is a whole freaking world, and it is so scary to go down that aisle at Joann's, isn't it? Like, I find it so difficult. But with stabilizers and interfacings and all that, it's kind of like how you want it to go on and how do you want it to come off. And so if you do a cutaway version, that will not come off. So if you want like an actual hardcore stabilizer, you can, it's how it goes on. So it could press on, it could iron on, it could just like float there. It could like, you could just have to baste it on. So you could do that, and then it would be permanent. It's cutaway, so you could cut away around the edges, but theoretically it's not coming off with water, it's not coming off with heat, it's not cutting off by tearing. Tearing is another way you can get stabilizer off. I don't know how many times I wove this, if at all, so we'll just go one more time. So you could do that, and they make flexible interfacings and stabilizers too. So like if you're on a knit fabric, there's like more of a knit stabilizer. It is a whole scary world. But if you think about how do I want it to go on and how do I want it to go off, that will be or come off. And if you don't want it to come off, those are kind of the first steps, I think, when walking down that aisle. And then with a stabilizer, then it's also like, what's your fabric that you're putting it on? Like if it's stretchy, then you may want like a stretchier interface if you're going to leave it in. It's just what helped me a ton was thinking, how's it going to come on and how is this going to come off? Starting to think like that helped me at least a ton when trying to navigate stabilizers and interfacings. I'm definitely not a pro in that at all. Like all these people who sew garments, I mean, that is a whole world. Interfacings and stabilizers. All right, now I can just do a free-for-all here of the dark brown. Everything else is the dark brown, which is very close. It's a very close brown, but it'll just be like a subtle shift. Here in our finished one, you can see like the difference, especially from far away. You can really tell. But up close while you're stitching, it's like, is this even anything different? But it's just a nice subtle shift. So we can just go wherever we want now. I don't have to look at the pattern at all anymore for where to put these. Uh-oh, I think, yep, I did. I went through the front. That was weird. There we are. Oh, Smell-O-Vision thread conditioner. Yeah, I haven't been doing the thread conditioner. Let's do it a little bit right now. I'll put in the end. Ooh, I had another discussion with my brother and his girlfriend about thread conditioner. So we have some fun stuff planned for that. All right, let's see. Here's one of his samples. And had some ideas on like cute packaging. Ooh, this is appropriate. This is actually the one that's like, I think they call like peony or something. So this one would go with this one really well. Ooh, good. This one's a yummy one. This one smells like, they're all yummy, but this one specifically smells a lot more like spring. I might just like leave this one out because I want this whole area to smell like spring. This is kind of a weird way of doing this, but I was going to just, well, I don't know. Now I'm doing it normal. I was like, oh, I was just going to like go zoop all the way up, but felt like I was pulling a lot. So let's just run it through. So this is just beeswax. It's food grade organic beeswax with scent in it. a lot of scent in it. It smells really gorgeous, and I was going to leave that open. Let's continue that. I'll put it on my little strawberry. And you actually don't need a lot. I'm gonna run my hand through it. It can get a little sticky if you leave a lot on, so I'm just gonna run my finger through it, get any excess off, and then it just smells delicious. I've been calling it, like, we're making scented embroideries. Someone mentioned, like, I was using it and saying how good it smelled, and that you can actually smell it on the floss a little bit later and stuff too. And someone on TikTok was like, "You're making scented embroideries?" I'm like, "Oh my god, that's exactly what we're doing." And so we're gonna put some like scented embroidery bundles together soon here. I'm really excited for it. Yeah, this is a yummy smell. I like it. Not exactly what I'd think of sunflower. Like, if I was making a sunflower scent, it would just be like more like a wheat, almost like not a beer smelling, but like, you know, like an IPA where it's like grassy and weedy, and crisp. That's however you make that scent. And like summer, like being hit by the heat in the summer, like a fresh wheat grass smell hit by heat. Summer sun, that's is that how you make scents? I don't know. I should ask my brother and his girlfriend, like, how they go about describing their scents and coming up with them and naming them. That'll be fun. Uh-oh, that felt wrong. Oh no, I guess we're fine. Like I said, I keep my left hand on the back here, and I can tell just by feeling what's happening if something goes wrong. And it felt like I was getting a knot, but I didn't, so that's good. Oh, no. Amy's asking, Alyssa, have you ever made cording with a lucette? Am I even saying that right? I can't believe I just learned about it today. Okay, a lucette, just like, tell me if I'm wrong. That's not that like metal rod with a hole at the end that you like that like knot tires like on boats and stuff use to help tighten their knots. That's not a lucette, is it? I've played with that before for like knot making. That's a world I want to kind of dig into. So many crafts, so many things to know. But I don't think I'm not sure I know what that is, Amy. So I'm gonna have to look that up. But I'm excited about it. Anytime I hear about a new craft or a new anything, I'm like, oh my god, I have to figure it out. So, I mean, new to me. Clearly not new. Oh, this is smelling so yummy. Uh-oh, that's a knot. No, it's not. It's just looped around itself a zillion times. All right, well, we have a few more minutes here tonight. I'm very much not going to finish much more of these little single chain stitches. So, but at this point, we've kind of gone through all the stitches of the piece. Now we just got to crank the rest of it out, and the rest of it is going to take a while. So, like, this is all we did that first day was just this yellow for the stem stitch. That just takes time, and you know, we're going through how to do it and that sort of thing too, so that takes some time. But yeah, I mean, we may be going over into next week a little bit on this. I don't know, I should see what my weekend's like. Maybe I could maybe pop in on Saturday and we could finish this up instead of letting it sit for another week. I don't know, we'll see. But for sure, I think it's going to take at least 2 more sessions after the end of the week. Usually our embroidery of the months only go till the, like, one week, but this one's pretty stitch dense, I would call it. Ooh, this is smelling good, though. I wish I would have used it a lot earlier. Oh, it reminds me of a knitting toy I had as a kid. Is it that thing where you... Oh, is it... Okay, so is it that, like, tube with the thing in it and it has the 4 prongs and then you, like, twist it around like a figure 8 and then you flip it? Okay, if that's what it is, I totally had one of those as a kid, and I think my dad even made some different size ones. Actually, I don't know if he made it. I think I might have made that. I think he drilled the holes for me, and then I nailed in some nails at the end. So I think oh my God, I bet you I have that in the house too. I'm going to look that up. And, oh, a 2-pronged fork thing. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But regardless, I'm going to see if I can find this tool that I'm talking about. But it has like 4 prongs, and then you like figure 8 one, and then the other one somehow, and then you do it again, and then you flip the bottom one over the top, right? And then you keep doing that, and you end up with like a long cord. Is that what that is? Oh, that's good to hear, K Army. Yeah, it's. I kind of like when we go long on these things, and I like doing the Saturday stitch alongs and stuff. What we could do, oh God, maybe I'm just like putting too much on a Saturday, but we could finish this up, which would take a few hours on Saturday yet. But we could finish up that tulip punch needle as well. I need to cut that out, or I need to clean up all the little loops and then cut it out and then put the glue on the back. But we could do like both of those projects on Saturday maybe. I'm a little tempted to do another marathon on Saturday. I'll have to think about that. Oh gosh, it's already Wednesday too, isn't it? Ooh, I have to take out the garbage tonight, people. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with our garbage and recycling again for another week. We always forget on Wednesdays. I just say that out loud as a hopeful reminder to myself. But maybe I'll be able to do another Saturday. Maybe not 5 hours like I did last Saturday, but dang, it'd be nice to get some of these projects done. All right, and I'm tempted to go tonight till I'm done with this thread. I know we only have like 2 minutes, but I'm almost out of this thread. Geez, look, we only have this many stitches with the brown, and or the dark brown, and I'm already almost out. Oh, I think I started with a smaller piece though. This is my leftover from, well, I guess we just did the eye, his French knot eye yesterday. But I might have started with a little smaller piece than what we had with the tan. Here's a little baby one up here. Okay. Oh, so it is that thing with the hole that you flip the loops over, Amy, that you're talking about. Okay. Then for sure I have to find this one. You'll be impressed. It's like, so when my parents built their house when we were little, they saved all the excess lumber, like all the little cutoffs. So I remember in the garage for like a freaking decade probably, there was just little wood pieces, so like triangles and sticks and little blocks, all sorts of stuff, and us as kids would make so many things out of all of those little wood pieces. Like we just find some wood in that pile of cutoffs, and then we just make stuff. And that was one of the things that I made, and I'm pretty sure I didn't drill it myself, so Dad probably put some drill holes in, and then I hammered in the little nails. I probably actually still have a cord hanging from there. Okay, now I'm excited to find that. I have a good idea of where I might find it too. This is what I'm saying. I gotta go through all my craft bins and reorganize them and everything, and I'm gonna come up with all sorts of old treasures like that, I think. Oops, did I miss grabbing that loop? There we go. And I think that is gonna be that. I don't have enough thread for another one. Oh, look, I'm kind of making a mess back here. So I have this like little loop here, like this little loose area that just probably I didn't catch my thread quite right. I'm going to try and weave those in. like I'm going to weave in the ends right here. I'm going to try and catch that somehow so it kind of flattens out. So like right here, I'm going to just grab it and weave in the rest. Then I won't have like a bloop on the back. Not that that matters. Oh, Kerm. Oh, okay, sorry. So not K-Army. I know. I'm just like horrible at the screen names. It was supposed to be Kermit, so like Kerm years ago was supposed to be Kermit, but I wasn't watching, and it came out as Kerm, so I stayed with it. Nice. Okay, I'll know now though. It's Kerm. Or do you want to? I mean, I can say Kermit too. Kerm is cute though. That's fun. So is Kermit. All right, but I know now, so that's good. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so there we go. We got a little dark brown bespeckled up in there. All right, so gosh, so tomorrow we have choices, right? So someone was mentioning, I don't know if we ever solved that. If for the outline stitch, if we were talking about the stem stitch or the just the back stitch. But maybe I'll start up with the stem stitch again. We could get a whole nother day of stem stitching done. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to finish the sunflower. Why don't we do that? So tomorrow we'll just quickly finish up the sunflower. I don't think that'll take long. And then I will pick up we'll do some more stem stitching. Let's see how far we can get with these petals. That's Thursday already. So then Friday we can either continue with more petals or get a whole pile more of these little fellers in. And maybe we'll trade off. Like once we run out of one of these threads, we'll do some of this and run out of that thread and then go back to here. That'd be a way to do it too. Whatever we are feeling. So, all right. So I think we will call it there tonight. So thank you guys again for joining me. Here, let me scooch this out. There. So yeah, tomorrow we'll have choices for our stitches. That'll be kind of fun. So be sure to check out that pattern, the sunflower pattern, over on penguinfish.com. It's our embroidery of the month. It's available as a PDF as well. And then also we kind of released this for Mother's Day. It's our peony embroidery. And then we also had those greeting cards, those Mother's Day greeting cards, and just like a little peony kind of just a generic sort of card as well. And I think they turned out so cute. I'm hoping to do some more cards like that coming up. So if you're wanting greeting cards for anything specific, or I kind of want to continue that flower, like make a little flower collection of just everyday greeting cards would be fun. But I'm playing around with our printer some more. So, all right, you guys. That's it for tonight. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Have a lovely evening.